Agape Souls Shoutique. High-end boutique looks and quality with affordable pricing. Located at 6025 Martin Luther King Street South in St. Pete. Choose from our amazing selection of stylish, fashion-forward heels, wedges, boots, children's shoes, accessories, and much more. You can shop now and pay later, interest-free with Afterpay. Subscribe to our website and get huge savings on our latest products at AgapeSoulShoutique.com. For more information, call 727-379-1318. Come give your feet the royal treatment and check us out at Agape Soul Shoutique today.
Wake up, y'all. Wake up, y'all. Wake up. It's the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother, John. Hey, let me try it again. Go ahead.
Mr. Edmond.
There he is. There we go. There we
one
go.
and only Mr. Edmond.
Yeah, in the building, baby.
Rise and shine.
Rise and shine. Rise and grind. Get your grind on, y'all. This program is being brought to you as part of the New Image Project of the Community Development and Training Center, a.k.a. See That?
See That.
And we like to thank y'all for tuning in and helping us to redefine what's cool. Mr. Edmond. Yeah, we live.
Okay, we live. I was say where that was coming at. I was going to actually.
Oh no, is that me? Is that me? That's you.
God bless America and a few other places.
Yeah, that's right. So what's good with you, man?
Oh man, the work is good. This weekend was amazing.
It really was. It was an amazing weekend.
Easter weekend in the city, man.
Yeah. Rod Wave, Easter giveaway.
Yes, big shots.
That was Saturday, right?
And then on Sunday, DJ Ish, Treese.
Fifth annual Easter egg. Yeah.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chill Will.
Yep. Treese Love.
They
DJ
whole
Ish.
team, man. They've been doing that thing about 5 years.
Man, I saw the video. It looked like it was about 1,000 or more kids out there, man.
I said it was 1,000 early, so it felt like more like 2,000.
Yeah, it was a bunch of children out there. My wife's watching too. Come on, sweetie.
But that's love, though. That's real love, man. So shout out to everybody in the community doing something, giving back, because that's what's needed. We got to keep that up, man. Keep doing it. Don't hate, participate.
That's real talk, man. And then the Jazz and Poetry Festival.
Yes, man. Big shouts out to Cranston Cumberbatch. Big shouts out to Henry Ashwood and all the artists, all the poets that came out. Big shouts out to 22 South Food Hall for hosting the 3rd annual Jazz and Poetry Festival. The Sunshine City Jazz and Poetry Festival.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I see it. Sunshine City Jazz and Poetry Festival.
And big shouts out to the Community Development and Training Center.
See that?
Because See That is power. Is helping us power these events.
Right.
See That is our nonprofit partner when it comes to things like this. This is the part of the New Image Project as well.
Absolutely.
So the Sunshine City Jazz and Poetry Festival, it's been going on since the Iberian Rooster downstairs.
Yep, I remember.
The basement.
Yeah. It's been that's right.
We committed.
No, I forgot about the Iberian and how it was going down in the Iberian, man.
Yes. Because if you don't know, April is Jazz and Poetry Month.
Okay, I did know that.
Yep. So and we honoring the locals, because if you don't know, our city has a special place in the jazz and poetry world.
Right.
So we just saluting them.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I saw it looked like it was some good performers and some performances and some.
Man, it reminded me of an episode of MTV Unplugged.
Okay.
It was like super.
Okay. Yeah.
The band behind them, the live band behind
right.
the spoken words.
Right.
It was just amazing.
No, that's what's up, man. Congratulations on that, and congratulations to the city, man. Just for really having people that's like inspired to do these great things, man.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody, every city ain't getting off like this.
Right.
Straight up, I don't care if it's Atlanta, Dallas. I don't care where it's at. We getting off in the city, y'all. So big shouts out to the city.
Yeah. So when they tell you what ain't happening, don't you listen to them.
Don't you listen to them.
Don't listen to what people say. So,
don't listen. Okay.
So it ain't. Yeah, we don't sing, but we can kind of sing a little bit when we want to. But today is the filing deadline, man. The filing deadline to submit 2021 tax returns.
File for extension if you can.
Yeah, that's what it says on extension to file and pay taxes that's owed is today, April 18th for most taxpayers. By law, Washington, D.C., holidays impact the deadlines for everyone in the same way federal holidays do. And so the due date is April 18th instead of April 15th because of the Emancipation Day holiday in D.C. For everyone except taxpayers who live in Maine and Massachusetts.
Emancipation?
Yeah, they said it was Emancipation Day holiday in D.C.
See, we don't know nothing about that.
But
that's just like how Emancipation was. It took 2-3 years.
Yeah, supposed to get it right. Juneteenth. Well, you got another holiday.
Man, these people hold another holiday because that's when we found out.
That's when we found out what was happening.
People, man.
Yeah, and that's what they saying. Taxpayers in Maine and Massachusetts have until April 19th to file their taxes due to Patriots Day holiday in those states, because in those states they got Patriots Day holidays too. So taxpayers requesting an extension will have until Monday, October 17th, 2022 to file. So make sure you get that.
Okay, yeah, make sure y'all get that in.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be doing an extension today.
Listen,
I need a little more time.
Listen, we all need a little more time right now.
A little bit more time.
But we're gonna cross the T's and dot the I's.
You better know it. You better know it. You better know it, man. Other things too. Some weather was in the news, man. Parts of Central Florida were hit with heavy hail.
Yeah, and then the people sliding on the road.
Did you see the hail? The hail stuff.
Listen, it was an accident. They say it was how can I say it? Out the blue.
Good morning, Lisa. I see you. Thank you for tuning
in. They didn't know it was coming, and when it came, boom. People was in the cars getting in accidents, so it stopped traffic.
What kind of storm was it? What was the storm?
Out the blue.
Just a flash, one of them flash storms.
I don't know if this is an official scientific term, but out the blue.
That's what it came out the blue. Well, yeah, because it was blue, and then it wasn't blue. It was that. Yeah, so it came out the blue. Okay, I see what you did there. Yeah, no, but that's what they said. It was a video actually I saw where what's his name? It's got Jason Triplett. He showed large hailstorms pummeling a house in Davenport, Florida, as strong wind gusts whipped through the trees outside. The National Weather Service had issued a special weather statement for the region, warning of hail and gusts of up to 30 miles per hour. You ever been in hail, man?
Good
morning, Sharonda.
On the block, but
yeah.
I don't think that's the hell you talking about.
Yeah, no, I ain't. I'm talking about HAIL. I was sitting in I was sitting in at a Burger King in the drive-thru, and it started. Well, it was like rain, so I'm thinking it's just rain coming down, but then it hit the windshield. It was like, psh, 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 and I'm like, whoa. So long story short, hail is scary as
no, it's
hail.
not. Hold on,
man.
Let me.
Now look, you said you ain't sat in it. I was sitting in the car and it was hailing.
But it wasn't hail as it was coming down because we thought it was snow.
Okay.
Remember back in the days when it snowed on Christmas?
I remember that one year. That
was hell.
That 1 year?
That was hell.
Hail is ice, like ice. Yeah. No, I ain't see that. Caller, you on there? What's on your mind? Give us your name. What's on your mind? Are you there? If you're there, caller, we can't hear you.
I hear everything in the background, but I don't hear you.
Yeah, so give us a call back.
Call us back.
But yeah, man, I sat through some hail and boy, that thing was rough.
What the hell?
What the hell? That's exactly what my reaction was when it hit that windshield. Shayna, good morning. I see you. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tapping in to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club right here on 99 Gems. Oh man.
So boom.
Yeah.
I also want to give a big shout out to Mount Zion Church.
Okay.
Louis Stevens.
Okay. Mount Zion Progressive.
Yes. I've seen a lot of people out there at Wildwood.
Yeah.
They had an event going on, and it was an Easter event. I think an Easter egg hunt. I think the Woodson did something too. So man, big shouts out to the city.
Yeah, really, like just doing amazing things, man.
We getting it in. Don't let nobody tell you we ain't, and don't be mad because somebody ain't do their event with you. It was enough people to go to any event they felt like they wanted to go to.
Yes,
people had choices and options. We love that when we go to the store.
Man, yeah.
In the community, they don't feel
like we don't want options.
We don't want options. Everybody got to do it together.
Yeah. But
man, come on.
But it's so many children and the need so great, man.
Bro,
that's
what I told somebody. We was talking about it, and one of the things that we were talking about was, like they say, the lack of, collaboration.
Right. Good morning, Tammy.
And how instead of having multiple events, we need to just have one big event. And I explained to him what the logistics of a big event is.
Oh my God.
And people be talking, but you don't really got the manpower to do what some of the things that need to be done. So
I think a lot of times people who talk like that, they haven't really done it.
Yeah, they don't know.
Because once you do one of these events, like we did for our family, we did a family luau this weekend. Yes, sir. And man, the morning after, boy, and the logistics for it, you know what I'm saying? Just like, it gives you an appreciation for when you're trying to do these things. When you talk about collaborating and doing it for 10,000 people or 4,000 people, like you got to be ready for that kind of work. You know what I'm saying? And to spread it out where you got 4 groups doing 1,000 people, as long as the need is being met and the people getting served, man, serve them people. Help the babies, teach the babies, teach the truth.
And I appreciate everybody who do those multiple events, because if you ever go to multiple events, you will see some be super thick, some be medium, some be having no people.
Right.
But sometimes that's what it got to be.
Yeah, no, that's what's up.
That's what it got to be. It don't got to be a packed out house every time.
Again, man,
2 people that you need to help that day.
If you serve them 2 people, help them 2 people, man. God bless you.
God bless America and a couple other places.
Man. Conversation last week during the Youth and Family Services Committee on one of our policy recommendations. The policy recommendation is the right to counsel.
Oh, man.
And the right to counsel, the goal of the right to counsel is to dramatically expand landlord-tenant mediation services for tenants who are struggling to pay rent, man. And so the St. Pete City Council's Youth and Family Services, they met on Thursday for its first discussion on how to create a tenant's right to counsel. I guess one of the biggest takeaways was that a guaranteed right to counsel is entirely possible with enough funding and the implementation from the city to pull it off. The council members who are on that committee and even the city administration, they seem open to the idea. How long it's going to take to implement a program still remains to be unseen. But the conversation actually resulted from a city council member, Richie Floyd. Shout out to Richie Floyd.
Man, big shouts out to Richie, man.
Yeah, but
in the paint.
Yeah, but it started from he actually made a request last month that the legal and the administration bring back information on how the city can increase legal representation services for tenants, focusing on those who are facing eviction hearings. It's basically the long story short is like this: if you have a legal representation or you got counsel when you go in, you usually do better in court.
I mean, that's honest truth.
In any court.
Speaking as somebody that's been in court a couple of times.
In any court, you usually do better when you got a lawyer.
You often need representation because you don't know the ins and outs of that particular courtroom.
Right.
Whether it's civil, whether it's criminal, whether it's mediation or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oftentimes you do better.
Yep.
By having somebody stand on your side. And a couple of the city council members I was watching.
Yeah.
I think it was city council member Fig Sanders.
Yep. She's the chair of that committee.
Okay, and she stood up in the paint. I was feeling it.
Yeah.
When I'm hearing her talk, because I was watching it, and so I'm hearing her talk.
Right.
Okay. I'm like, okay, we can move. When you having that type of conversation, you can see the needle moving.
Right.
It's not moving fast as people need it because people are hurting right now.
Right.
I got people in the hotel right now.
Yeah.
Straight up. I was telling you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the help could never come fast enough.
Right.
But long as we making these steps forward, we just got to keep supporting, the electeds and the people and the policymakers and the staff. We got to keep supporting them as these steps make it, because I hate to tell you, this happened all over America right
now. Yeah, this eviction thing is real. And in places where the city provides representation, for these types of hearings,
it's better.
Yeah, you get to stay in your home.
It's often gonna be better because they know what they're doing. Because shout out to Bay Area Legal Services,
Gulf Coast Legal,
a couple of groups we've worked with in the past,
right?
Because these groups try to do that.
Yeah. They're actually doing it. Yeah. So they actually fund it. So the city funds legal services, which mostly require 80% AMI, the area median income, or less.
We got to talk about that. So tell people what that means.
Yeah. Well, the area median income is basically what the middle income is for the people in the community. We actually posted a breakdown of what 80% AMI was. I think the new numbers will be coming out, and so you'll be able to see where you fall on the chart. But what's happening is they said that 80% income leaves many who don't qualify without options when it comes to evictions. So Gulf Coast Legal Services is one of the agencies that receives funding from the city to provide legal services to residents at that income level. The housing attorney who was there said that they've seen an increase in people who are seeking these services since COVID-19. And so now it's just guaranteeing the right.
It's practical. It makes sense. Because people feel that we are in a crisis. Some people feel we're in an emergency. So everybody got different feelings about where we're at.
Right.
But the stats and the data show that we are in a situation where people need more help than they did before, as far as legal help during an eviction.
Yeah, just like when you get that notice, man, you don't really know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
So if you were getting evicted right now and you don't know what to do, there is some places that can help you. Gulf Coast Legal Services.
Yep. Pinellas Eviction Diversion.org, I think is what it's called.
Pinellas Eviction
Diversion.org. Yep, they can get you some help too, man. So
and don't be bashful,
please,
because there is funds out there to help people stay in their home.
Yes,
and so to help the immediate problem, try to get that assisted.
Right, but
for the long term, y'all got to help us advocate with city council members. We got to stand behind the city council members that's putting this stuff on the what they call it, docket.
Oh yeah.
This is docket?
This is a docket.
Okay.
I call it a docket. I go on that. I can't think of the word either, so I call it a docket. But Lashada, thank you for tuning in. See my wife, she in here. Lisa Washington in here. Mama Blue in here. Tammy, thank you for coming over, man. I'm telling you, we had a blast with my family.
Yeah. Oh yes. Listen, but long story short, I want to say this: Miami.
Okay.
Declared it a housing emergency.
Yes.
It's on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club page.
Yeah.
Y'all go check it out.
What does that mean?
So I guess it means something different in every spot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, because the housing emergency that we're looking to call here,
right,
I think does and says something different.
Well, low key and not so low key if you ain't in this space, but St. Pete kind of kicked that off. Like there was.
So hold on.
Yeah,
that's not low key.
Okay, it's known.
It's known in those certain circles.
Okay,
that the work that's been done. Shout out to the tenants union. Shout out to the People's Council.
Shout out to us.
Shout out to Florida Ride.
shout out to see that.
Shout out to Brother John. And
shout out to Mr. Edmond.
I be here sometime.
Yeah.
The work, help influence other work.
Yeah.
And so that's why we really got our foot on the gas, because we like, hey, so we know we helping influence different sectors in the state,
right?
But we got to move the ball here.
Yeah, and that's how it happened though. People see what you're doing in your city, and even though it didn't go through, we initiated a process that others in other cities they using that process. It was a template. Yeah,
and the template was shared,
and they pushed it all the way through in Miami,
and we still pushing it here.
Well, I mean, they're not all the way through, but they pushed it to where we trying to get to happen here. They made it happen in Miami, but they used the play that we ran here.
And my hope, right? Because when I read the article about what's going on in Miami,
mm-hmm.
some of the stuff in Miami that's going on, some of the stuff we already doing, or some of the stuff we've already proposed.
Right.
But one of the things that we got to do for not only, because people scared to call an emergency here because of state preemption.
Yes, preemption.
You don't want to get, and preemption is when Tallahassee makes a law that the local government can't change or can't do something to.
Right.
So they're preempted before they do it.
Like raising wages. Like the state say y'all can't raise pay in your city. That's a preemption.
And you preempt it.
Right.
But how democracy works, there must be a challenge.
Yes.
So if you preempt me and say, okay, you can't take your trash out on Saturday, but my house stinking, I need to take the trash out, and I take it out. I try you.
Yeah.
I try you. You take me to court. Maybe I win. Maybe you win.
Right.
It's however it go. And you know, especially here, the conversation has been around the dollars that'll be spent in a court battle. At the state level could be used to provide housing.
Right.
And that's real.
It's real.
If you spend $50 million on a case, you could have spent the $50 million on the house.
But who say you're gonna spend $50 million on the case?
But I'm just saying that's just like that's presented, the options that's being presented.
And those options being presented was being presented by like the city staff, city lawyers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about it like I done had lawyers present stuff to me. Well, these public defenders, they lawyers too though. Yeah. But I done had them, it's like when you go in there, you see what I'm saying? And they tell you, hey, you know, if you take this plea, you know what I mean? You get 2 years probation.
Take that issue to trial.
But if you take it to trial, you gonna, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of the way the city lawyers is talking about this housing state of emergency. Like, okay, you can declare the emergency, but you're gonna be sued. And if you get sued, these are the consequences.
But see, my thought like that, and I shared this with you, Brother John. That's how laws are made and broken.
Yeah.
There's a law, and then there's a challenge or opposition to the law,
right?
And then you figure it out from there. And I'm going to give you a prime example: Roe versus Wade.
Yeah,
the abortion law.
Yeah, it
was a law, and then it was a challenge to the law.
Yeah,
and boom, now it's the law of the land.
Right.
But then now you have people challenging the law of the land. So if you have a conservative group who's willing to try to push abortion ban, even though the law of the land says abortion,
they keep pushing.
You know what? So what is we doing?
And I think they just signed it.
They're going to trial. They not only going to trial, they taking it to their legislator.
And
then their legislator is figuring out something and writing something that benefits what they believe in.
Right.
That's some of the stuff we got to do.
Wow.
That, no matter what,
you just hit it because they just signed the
15-week
abortion ban in Florida.
No matter what the law is, no matter what they put in front of us, we have to challenge it, and then we have to go to our local electeds and our state reps and our congressmen, and then we got to challenge it, and then we got to write some laws to fight against it. You know what I mean?
No, that's right. And here's what I was thinking too: white only was the law of the land.
Listen, white only
fountains, but somebody had to break the law. Somebody challenged the law. Somebody was sued, and then they fought. They won the case.
Listen, Dred Scott. Yeah. That was a case. The man said, I'm going to court.
Yeah.
Take that to trial.
Take it to trial. Caller, what's on your mind? Give us your name and what's on your mind.
So peace and light.
Our resident brother.
The resident brother himself. And peace and light to the honorary, and peace and light to the brother himself too.
The honorary and the brother.
I like the conversation, and I also like to just kind of shine light on really just paying attention to the mission, or shall we say the work that's ahead, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying to the people itself, because when you pass a law, one thing we should be looking at is that that's not the end all be all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you pass a law that's beneficial for you and your people, just expect just as hard as it was to pass that law, it's going to be just as hard to stay on top of the hill, aka to keep the law active, because they've been trying to bring down Roe versus Wade, as you brought up, since the beginning of it. You know what I mean? Every law that we've seen that's benefited us has been true that since the 60s of its enactment.
Yeah, voting rights
and all of that. As we continue to produce more laws that's specifically benefiting us, that's the unapologetic approach that we have to take to politics. We have to be targeting laws that specifically benefit us and be unapologetic about it, but also know that they're gonna try to tear it down for the rest of his enactment.
But listen, and I appreciate you for saying that, because that's how this works. If people don't know, when they was talking about freeing the slaves, it was lawsuits, it was court cases. During, after. Yeah. Think about it. They gave
that's how the good deal, bro. I'm cutting you off, but that's how we hear the stories of slave masters being compensated. They were compensated because of the legal structure that went to taking away their property.
Yeah.
No, they lobbied for that. That was lobbied for. That was somebody said, look, this is what
it was a violation of their property rights, and slaves were property.
That's right.
And so they had to make them whole because they took their property when they freed the slaves.
I mean, even freeing the slaves itself.
I wish I can look at
Hey, you think we can get that money back? You think we can ask for a refund?
Even freeing itself, bro. Even freeing the slaves itself, brothers. When they freed the slaves, they then said, what? A week later, if you don't have a job, then you got to go to jail. So they even to this very millisecond, the fact of freeing slaves has been targeted, and that's when they started going and dog whistling, talked about slavery capturing, and they say, hey, we're gonna be tougher on crimes. My brother John said it the best, man. Hey, y'all, they can hear our voice right now. We are the survivors of the United States government attacking us. The dog whistle word was what, y'all? The war on drugs.
Yeah. And we know it was a war on us.
Out of our community. You took opportunity out of the community, no problem. But that is a problem because then you put drugs in our community, then lock us up for selling it. You see what I'm saying? So,
and then open up a dispensary and start selling it yourself legally. So the story keep going.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool game. I was in it with it's a pretty cool game. It just takes a certain type of consciousness to understand that there's a game being played on us.
No,
and then we'll start playing it.
Hold on.
The parents said, we children all our lives, y'all.
No, check it out. What you just said made me think about this. And this is the other part of it. So it was illegal. They locked a whole bunch of us up for it, right? They got rehab. We went to jail. And then they made it legal. And so now what was illegal? Yeah.
And you gotta think about it. Like a lot of our brothers and sisters participated in adult games. We gotta recognize that there's a game on us. I don't know what it's called yet, y'all. But there's a game called Lock Us Up, Miseducate Us. That's a game, and they play it on us. No different than we play the dope game. They play this miseducation game. They play this everything that they do to us game. It's a game that they participate in. Not all of them, though.
Yeah,
there's a thing because not everybody sells dope. So not everybody play the Lock Us Up game, but a lot do.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for calling, King Ree.
Heavy.
Hey, peace and light, y'all, man. I see y'all Wednesday, man. Love y'all.
Love you back, big bro. Sure. Yeah, man. So that's what it is. Like it's legal, and so that's again going back to these policy recommendations.
And then they lock us out the industry.
These are ordinances that we looking to have passed that can actually help people who be dealing with different situations and scenarios.
We need social equity marijuana licenses in the city of St. Pete.
Say that again.
Social equity marijuana licenses. And then we gonna get sued by the governor, and we gonna stand up to the lawsuit and win.
Yep. Tweet. Good morning on this. Good morning.
That's how I go when the lawsuit
Maurice,
comes,
I see you.
You stand up in the paint. And people don't know what social equity marijuana licenses is when they give dispensaries and weed licenses to people who already had felonies. Or marijuana charges.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that way
that's not happening in Florida.
I mean, it's saying somebody got to do it. It ain't like they just gonna do it. Somebody got to do it and be like, whatever, bring it.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
We buy equity, we buy things being equal.
Right.
They give one or two of them licenses out. It's like
we don't get those licenses, and then they put the barriers like you said, people who were excellent at distribution and sales when it was underground when they bear fruit, and now it's legal, you locked out of the business forever.
And that's something that's nothing new. This is what's being done before. And
like Marino said, that's the game, man.
And that's why when I looked at California and like Compton specifically, when I seen that they had a social equity marijuana license. So it's a guy. They got a couple of them.
Right.
And there's a couple guys. This guy named Burner. He got the Cookies brand. And his brand, like one of the biggest brands in the marijuana industry. But he got a social equity license.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
He had got that equity license
and turned all the way up. Yeah.
He's redefined
to show you like what you could do with the social equity license and an opportunity.
Look up Burner. Look up Burner.
Yeah.
Burner and Cookies, the Cookies brand. And the dude give back. The dude got a whole college. He teach people. He send people out into the mountains, show them how to get that money.
They show them how to get it.
They show them how to get that paper.
How to move. So you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, y'all, the new 99 Jams morning show. We want to let y'all know that as a community-owned public media resource, WUJM 99 Jams relies on the support of listeners like you to keep the shows you love on the air. The doors open, lights on, and to continue to put out quality programming in the Tampa Bay area. Please consider making a donation to the show today or becoming a show sponsor. You can do that by visiting 99jamstheberg.com, clicking on that donate button. Also, if you want us to come out to one of your events, man, and broadcast live, put you on the radio, call us up, we'll be there.
Oh yeah, we got a request for to be at the literacy event again on 22nd.
Okay.
We was there before. We'll run it.
Oh, yeah, we just be there.
Look,
we was
right
there
here,
before.
We'll be debrief on the app.
Yeah, live debrief. Oh yeah, that's right. Somebody did call and they want us to come. All right, so the other housing news. One of the things I saw too, it was just a place in Tampa. Residents in East Tampa apartment complex live in black mold and rodent nightmare. At Silver Oaks Apartments in East Tampa, residents are living in conditions so unhealthy that residents say they just want a way out, and they refer to it as a nightmare. Black mold, flooding, rodents, and unstable infrastructure have left tenants desperate and feeling like their lives are in danger. There was a resident, she said, lying in her bed while she was lying in her bed when the ceiling caved in and the debris broke her foot and toes. She was in a cast for 4 months and says she doesn't use that room for fear of getting hurt again. Pieces of the ceiling are still hanging down in the unused room. That was nearly 5 months ago, and the damage still hadn't been completed. There's other cases at this property, but what they're saying is that the property management company, Cambridge Management, received more than $5.3 million in PPP loans during the pandemic, but they're not taking care of the properties that these folks live in. It was also at another apartment that's managed by this company called Hilltop Village Apartments. It's supposed to be an affordable housing community in Jacksonville. They complained about several problems, and it ended up getting the federal government got involved.
Wow.
But this kind of stuff is happening. So the Tampa Tenants Union has been in touch with some of those residents over there. They're now talking with the tenants, working through with next steps about the complex. And they've teamed up with like groups like Florida Rising and others in Tampa to really highlight these unfair landlord practices that's coming out of the corporate landlords. And them corporate landlords, you know, we talk about the difference between corporate landlords and mom and pop landlords. And one of the targets is like these corporate landlords who own, you know, tens of thousands of properties and they're not maintaining them. It seems like it's a little more difficult to challenge them and get repairs done because they, you know,
they got representation. Like we were just talking about earlier, the importance, you know, of a company with a team of lawyers,
right?
Versus a person representing themselves or a lawyer.
Yeah.
So, you know,
so link up with people, man. That's it. So
big shouts out to Florida Rising.
Yeah.
It's a statewide member-led organization.
Right.
And they got lawyers.
Yeah.
They got groups of people, like, for real.
Yeah.
When we talk about social justice and social equity, this is like one of the biggest organizations in the state of Florida.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And helping people, you know, through hard times like this or like other things.
Right.
That's what Florida Rising here for.
Yeah, go to the website, man, floridarising.org. Y'all check it out. See what it's all about. If you want to become a member, you're free to do so as well. Again, but it's all about linking up, man.
Tell them the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club sent you.
Yes.
Right. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
When you sign up and be a member, it's gonna be a little box.
Yeah.
Put the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Yeah. When they say who sent you,
who sent you? Who sent you?
It was the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
It was the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
That sent you, man.
Yeah, because we all about community. We all about doing this stuff. That's why when we come on the show, if y'all notice, we always talk about community.
Yeah, I mean, what else is it that kind of?
We can talk about some entertainment.
It's enough outlet. You go to like it's other pages and space you go to, and we do that too. But it's really, man, the whole point and purpose of this is us redefining what's cool.
Ooh.
Right? And we want y'all to see that it's cool to be involved, civically engaged. All of that, I don't do politics stuff. That ain't cool no more, man. Like it was cool when you was in your teens and in your 20s, you know, maybe even like your early 30s. But when you get to this age where you done had a few birthdays,
it wasn't never cool.
Yeah, it was.
I'm gonna go ahead and say
it wasn't never cool, but it was popular and it was trendy.
That's right.
And what we're trying to do is make it where it's unpopular for you to not to be involved in civic engagement.
That's right.
Like really knowing what's going on around you, what's these laws that's impacting you. So we took a trip. We actually took some Florida Rising members over. We met with Diane Hart, a representative out of Tampa.
Yes, we went to the Capitol.
Yeah, with Diane Hart. So this was after y'all went to the Capitol.
Yeah.
We came back. We had a meeting set up with her, and she was talking about the importance of politics. And again, hearing it from a person who goes sit up there, and she was saying, you know, they regulate how far you can put your house back from the curb. The setback laws. Like, it's so many laws and policies that we just have no idea what we up against. But that's what they're up there doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they passing these laws. Like, again, what you could teach your children in school, what what books. I think they just said something about like 50 books got took out of the schools.
Math books
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what them books is, but just the fact that a lawmaker can say, we looking at this book and we don't want y'all to read that. You know what I mean? Here you go, man. Use that one.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yeah, but they give you the, you know what I'm saying? They put the list of books that you can have your children read. Like, those are laws, and legislatures are passing those laws. And if that one don't work, try this one.
And no, but we definitely got to just be more organized.
Okay.
We definitely just got to be more active, because I'm gonna be honest, you know, the more active the community is, the more things we can get done. If you look at those active communities, those active neighborhood associations, those active community groups,
right?
And they going through, they getting stuff done, they getting roadblocks, they getting free police security, they getting all the stuff.
Yeah,
because they was organized.
That's right.
It was organized movement.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's a group of people, organized people. And
even if it's not, you know, we have our idea of what organized is, right? A lot of times this stuff is conversations.
But
it's conversations.
But a conversation is key to organization.
I agree.
When you're dealing with multiple people.
Yeah, you got to be able to talk.
You know what I mean? Communication.
But we don't like to go to meetings. But that's where the conversations is being had, though, right?
But because, you know, sometimes we have problems expressing ourselves.
Okay.
Sometimes we ain't got the words. Because I don't struggle with it.
You
know what I'm saying? Sitting up frustrated, boiling over, not knowing what to say or how to say it, or not feeling a person is taking you serious.
Yeah.
Not feeling you being heard.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
And I'm here to tell y'all, you know, it's times, the situation where you heard.
Yeah.
You just gotta say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's no telling what time is right and what time is wrong. You just got to do it all the time.
Yeah, and you got to be present, like to make them statements. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm
working on my perfect attendance now.
And I've seen you like change the whole direction of several things just by being there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I got something I want to say.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you said it just like that. But like once you weed through it, and you really pay attention to what's being said, it makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do, not only as community, like get over that thing that make us feel like, nah, that ain't the space for me.
Well, no, they ain't gonna listen. Oh man, I ain't got, man.
They gonna do it. To me, You'd be surprised, because I'm telling you, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, we could just tell the story right here on air. When the protests jumped off, look, I see you bracing yourself.
Yeah, I don't know what you did.
I see you bracing yourself.
I don't know what you did.
Like, what we finna talk about? What we finna talk about?
Right now,
we finna talk about that time when they called us to that meeting around them protests.
What?
And
which one?
The one, the first one. When the first meeting they had when it was community leaders and stakeholders, and they said, we want to talk about these St. Pete protests. It was in, I think it was maybe like May or June of 2020, and it was like maybe the third day. It was like the third or fourth day of protest. Yeah. And the city was, you know, administration trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah.
So they call us in. We sitting in there for the meeting, and they talking about the But you know, with these conversations, y'all know how they do. They'll frame the conversation.
Yes.
And once they frame the conversation, that's kind of the direction that they trying to get everybody to go in, and the lens that they want you to look at it through, right?
Yeah.
Right. That's how they do it. Yeah. Right? But so they was
meeting facilitation.
Yeah. So they framing the conversation in a way that says, we sick of these protests. We tired of them being out here. They blocking our streets.
They stopping business.
They gotta go. That's the framework. Now, it wasn't explicit. They didn't say that explicitly.
No, that was the framework.
But that was the framework.
But then people did say it explicitly once the framework
was set. Yeah. Of course, what you supposed to say? You supposed to be on script. And so everybody was pretty much on script. Yeah. But then, you know, because they going around the circle. And then when the circle,
it was a big circle.
It was a big circle.
But it was the longest introduction of any meeting I ever been in. I've never seen an introduction this long.
No, right.
30 minutes to an hour to get halfway.
Just to get halfway around the circle. So when they get to Mr. Edmond, because one of the things too, somebody said along the way was like, yeah, these people are from out of town. These are outside agitators that are coming from out of town. These are not even people from St. Pete.
Yes, sir.
What'd you tell them, Mr. Edmond?
I told him, I was like, well, you know, when Martin Luther King went to Selma, he wasn't from Selma.
Yeah.
He wasn't from none of them towns he went to.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, we don't want the next Selma letter to be from St. Pete.
Right, that's right. The letter from Birmingham jail.
And really, I got that from Brother John gave me the book. chaos in the community.
Yes, sir.
And I'm reading the book. I'm ready. So I read about the pastor, writing letters telling MLK not to come to Alabama, don't come to Selma, don't come here. Writing letters to the newspaper, telling the newspaper we don't want him here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, so outside agitator. That's
so
what they call him.
And as they was framing, I was like, hey y'all, this looked like what I read in the book.
Right. So,
I don't want to say this right now in front of everybody, but this looked like the same thing I just read in this book Brother John gave me. Yeah. Brother John sitting right there next to me. Right. Brother John gave me this book. Right. And boy, this looked and feel just like that book.
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all doing.
And then after he pitched it that way, so I'm like, okay, so what side of history you want to be on? Do you want to be on the side of history where the people who was opposing Martin Luther King? Or do you want to recognize that these people right here that are outside agitators, they have a right to come in and do what they're doing, and they're supported by people who doing it here locally.
And they coming here for a reason.
Yeah, they coming here
for a reason.
It's absolutely a reason, And again, fast forward, that was day 3 or 4. It ended up being 100 days of marching, man, and ended up getting some support from police. Some policies got changed, but the point that we making, y'all, if Mr. Edmond wasn't in that room, if that was day 3 of the march, it wasn't gonna be a day 4.
It almost wasn't a day 4.
It almost wasn't a day 4.
It almost a day 4 anyway.
It almost wasn't a day 4 anyway.
It went crazy.
It did go crazy, but it worked out. But it worked out. And I'm telling you, man, that's the importance of having your voice in that room and being in that space, man. And I think it's just, again, we got multiple instances of things that I can really point to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And at some point we're gonna just sit and tell the story how these things really went down.
You don't have to, because it's unbelievable.
It really is.
If you knew and really understood how believable the unbelievable is, some people would make steps towards the unbelievable.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Say that again. If you really knew how believable the unbelievable is, more people would make steps towards the unbelievable. Right. We're gonna take a break, y'all. we gonna come back, and when we come back, we got Sierra Clark. She's gonna be joining us here in the studio. I think so. I'll see you watching.
I heard the door.
Okay, you heard the door. Okay, there we go. So she walking through the door now. We're gonna take our quick. He wasn't ready. So we're gonna take a break, y'all. We come back with more. So radio listeners, you'll get Democracy Now! Right now, y'all gonna get some ads, and we're gonna pay a few bills, and we're looking forward to seeing y'all on the backside. We're here on the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club.
Officials are saying that all 3 people who died from COVID also had underlying health problems. But there have been questions over 400,000 official coronavirus infections in this outbreak in Shanghai. And until today,
I'm Leo Anderson, co-owner of Taste of the Island Marketplace and Restaurant, 2231 34th Street South. I'm a family man and also a minister. I've been here in St. Pete now 5 years, and I've been loving it. Life here is great. It's a great place to live, great place to rear my family. This year makes 30 years that my family is actually been running the restaurant business in St. Pete. Started into it with my uncle, who's my partner in the business, who had the restaurant already, so I kind of bought into the restaurant. The idea of the grocery store was always there. It's just that we fast-tracked it because this was empty and it was right beside. So, came in and started doing, the reconnaissance and what it would take to get the market off the ground.
It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Just brushing up on some of my favorite literary classics. Even if a page turner like this isn't up your alley, did you know our libraries offer so much more than classic books? There's also things like passes to local museums. You can download ebooks onto your Kindle device. And super cool things like a teen gaming program. Visit your local library and see all it has to offer.
I'm saying it's true. Hey, it's time to let them know who we be. Florida Riser. All in your community. Florida Riser. Showing love and unity. Florida Riser. It's true, so true. Florida Rising on the move. Ain't nothing new, that's how we do. Florida Rising on the move. Ain't nothing new, that's how we do. Florida Rising on the move. Ain't nothing new, that's how we do. Florida Rising on the move. Always with you, come on. Florida Rising members, you know we love y'all. Matter of fact, let me get a Florida Rising roll call. Polk County, Orange County, Leon, and Duval. Hillsborough, Pinellas, Osceola, come on, y'all. Hey, one time for Seminole, Broward, and Miami-Dade. 2 times for Palm Beach, we run the whole state. So if you try to treat my people any kind of way, hey, guess who got something to say? They call it Florida Rising. Ready to fight, ready to stand. Florida Rising. So for real, we ain't playing. Call it Florida Rising. When the world is against you, guess who with you? Concerned about your issue. Florida Rising. It's time to let them know who we be. Florida Rising. Yeah, we all in your community. Florida Rising. Giving love, showing unity. Florida Rising. Ain't nothing new, the high it always be with Florida Rising. Now what's wrong? What's wrong? Who messing with you? See, our mission is to listen. Tell me your issue. And it don't matter what it is, we do it all types. Any kind of social injustice, it's gonna be a fight. That's right. Yeah, Florida Rising, we right there. On criminal justice, the healthcare. We talking climate justice. We talking voter rights. And if you know you're right, get up and show you right. Florida Rising got my back. I feel alright. I feel like clowning. Now tell me who said what about affordable housing? Cause the government keep rating that's a Dowski fund. It's supposed to help the black and brown, but we ain't getting all your fucking corporate landlords, slumlords. We ain't gonna stand for it. Putting profit over people. We see you and can't ignore. They call us all off guard. Hit us hard. The pandemic. But they don't care cause they still evicted. Men, women, children. Say what? And you know that ain't right. That ain't right. But guess who got my back? Ready to fight. Ready to fight.
Get a minute. There it is. We back. We back live. We've been back on the radio, but we black. Look, we black live on the internet. And again, we want to thank y'all for tuning into the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. I'm your brother John.
I am the one and only Mr. Edmond.
We got special guest in the building, Sister Sierra. That's our round of applause. Our round of applause. How you doing this morning?
Emotionally exceptional this morning.
Powerful. Emotionally exceptional this morning. And yes, we just kind of covered this, but I think this is something good for our audience to hear. When you say emotionally exceptional, tell me what that means.
I'm just acknowledging all my feelings, you know, because we have to acknowledge the feelings. Sometimes I used to cover them up, not express them, but they show up in other places. So I'm just acknowledging everything, how I feel, and then I get to determine what the sum of that looks like.
Oh, God, very intentional.
I'm telling you, powerful.
So for people who don't know, if you want to bring this a little bit closer, there you go. Like that. There we go. Try that now.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, we hear you real good.
Try it now.
Yeah. So for those who don't know who's Sierra Clark, introduce yourself. Let people know who you is.
Joy for everything. I am born and raised snotty nose barefoot from St. Pete. Only second generation because I'm learning my history. So I haven't been here as long as a lot of my friends have, but I am spontaneous, trusting, a community builder, and I'm about family, faith, and solutions.
I love that. And Blue Lips don't care.
Yes, Blue Lips all the month of April. What them Blue Lips do? We come on the radio. We connect with amazing energy who doing great things in the city. Right. And so it was around what could have been a tragic situation. My cousin died at 39, unexpected. But death is definitely expected. A part of this amazing life we want. We forget that death is as much a part of life as life is. But we forget that. So I would like to disrupt our old ways of communicating around death and not just praying about it, that we can plan and prepare and pray. Right?
I love that.
PPP.
Yeah.
And prepare and pray.
Yes.
And we ain't talking about the loan.
In any particular order, or is that the triangle?
I think we need to plan, prepare, and pray. Because we've done enough praying, and we seeing where that's gotten us without the action. Praying without the action.
Yeah, faith without works, all that whole thing. Yeah.
We get fish fries without the planning.
Right.
The praying get the fish fries, and they get paid. The prayer come through, but the plan wasn't enough. So I definitely feel that.
Yeah. And so how did you come up with Blue Lips?
So her favorite color was blue.
Okay.
So when this happened, I was going through my own stuff, going through my divorce, just a new place I didn't want to be in.
Right.
So I just had to, I was learning to not just focus on the bad or the traumatic energy. So we use this energy. So we redirected it.
Yeah.
So I told it where it was going to go. Unbeknownst to me, like, get up. I don't care how you feel and put your shoes on. You got greatness to do.
Right.
Cry. And so I cried on my way out the door, but I put the blue lipstick on because it was her favorite color. And then it became a chapter in my first book that blue isn't just a color, it's an attitude.
Okay.
And that attitude now represents courage. And I didn't know, but someone told me the other day that blue is actually the color of the throat chakra.
Okay.
And that's what I learned to do, is to actually open my mouth to speak up. And not so how divine that her favorite color was blue. Wow. And now I'm opening my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's the name? You say your first book. So you got a couple books?
I do. I have a couple of books.
Tell me about the first book. Let's start with the first one because we got time.
Okay. So the first book is called Finding Sierra, A Journey to a Better Me. The Only Way Out is in.
Okay.
And so that's the first book. The second book is in production now. It's called A Rooted Journey Home. So that one's about my grandfather, the city of St. Petersburg, and pretty much the one-sided truth of history that was taught.
Yeah.
So from my now adult standpoint.
I got you.
And then the third book is The Repair the Black Family Anthology.
Yeah.
That just got international best-selling author.
Yes. Congratulations on that.
Wow.
Congratulations.
International best-selling author.
Yes. You moving through like space and time real fast. So like I want to go back to like writing your first book and just like that process and kind of what inspired you, what prompted you to do that.
I had no intentions on doing it. Like my soul told me this is what we were doing. Like I was learning to just finally listen to me and have the self-awareness of what was already living on the inside of me.
Right.
So it kind of just said, this is what you're doing. But I got a little encouragement because I got with this online community, and the gentleman, he wrote a book. So, and the phone literally rang, and a lady, and I'm like, what you doing on my phone? She was like, you call me. No. And from that conversation, I started the book process.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah. And it just happened. And literally, so it was really for me to go back into my dark spaces to give it life.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those things I didn't spoke. What we speak and what we don't, we think because we don't speak it, it don't have power.
Right.
But it lies and it festers, and things that are covered don't heal well. And so I had a lot of things from my childhood that I had tucked under, put work on top of, and did all these things. But it was time, it was ready to tell me my own story.
Yeah.
And that's what Finding Sierra was. It was telling me my own story, that I was braver and stronger and all these great things that I thought that I wasn't.
And the only way out
is in.
How does that work?
Oh, so it works. It works intentionally. Because it doesn't, we can say it don't feel good, but it didn't feel good watching my family repeat old cycles. It didn't feel good going on somebody else's job, funding their dreams either. So we had to choose our heart. So none of it really feels good. But so then you be intentional about what you want, since it ain't gonna feel good.
Right.
You might as well be doing what you want then. So and that's what it was. So I wanted to finally get to know me. People, I was always people could always love me. They were always drawn to me. But it was still something about me that I didn't like. So when I would lay down at night, those things of not feeling good enough, all those things would like whisper to me. So I was now taking the intentional time to finally get to know Sierra. I want to know who this woman is that everybody loves. I want to know who this woman is that people say they see these great things about.
Right.
So I was learning to love me.
Yeah. No, that's interesting. That's interesting because you talk about finding a voice, and we were talking about that a little bit earlier. How like Mr. Edmond, we were talking about in the meetings and how, being there, being quiet,
finding your voice,
and not, speaking up and saying what need to be said in certain spaces, and then realizing that when you do speak, the impact that you have, what was that like? Like the first time you spoke and somebody was like, oh my God.
It was surprising because at first I was trying to speak where people couldn't hear or they didn't want to hear. Yeah. So you almost think that you speaking a foreign language or what's being told to you to say.
Wait, hold on. I didn't understand what you said. You was looking to speak. You said what people didn't want to hear?
Yeah, because so this is a new language for my family to disrupt the way we do it. And it didn't come off like icing. It didn't come. It tasted like
it was tough. Yeah,
it was hard. It was even hard for me. I didn't even know what I was even requesting us to do at this moment when I started saying, hey, let's do something different. Let's review how we do death so we can do it a different way so my family can smile in the place that we cry, but also show other families that they don't got to fall in the hole that we did.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. Well, the best lesson, one of my mottos, the best lesson to learn is the one you don't have to learn. If I'm watching you go through it, I should be able to avoid that.
Right.
Now, I shouldn't have to watch you go through it. Then I fall in it. Then my children fall in it.
Yeah.
We got to make something got to be different.
And then now we all trying to figure out how to get out of it when we watch ourselves fall into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That whole prevention is better than the cure type thing.
Absolutely.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you're listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club, the new morning show right here on 99 Jams the Berg. And if you missed the earlier part, you can go back and watch it on Facebook.com/Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. If you also like to listen online, you can go to 99jamstheberg.com and listen online. And if you in your car, if you got a radio on the shelf, people don't have radios on the shelf no more. But if you had a radio on the shelf, you would put it on 99.1 FM in St. Pete, and you can tune in and you can listen to us live on the radio, man. And so, what you got coming up? Anything cooking? Because I know you just had the event. Tell us about that. How was that?
The event was,
and you actually had like a 3-day week.
3-day event.
Okay, so tell us about it.
So because I'm intentional and I know everyone learns different, hears different, and feels different, because that's me. I realize I'm multidimensional. Right. So I'm not just one way. So I intentionally did certain things that could spark different people different ways. So Friday night we did the kickball.
Okay.
And then Saturday we did the heart and mind health wellness in Gulfport, and which was we freed our minds so our hearts can follow.
Okay.
I want to revive the hearts in the home.
Yeah.
So we freed our minds so our hearts can follow. And then Sunday we were at the Courtney Causeway. We did a bike ride, but I did raffles, and I just loved on the people.
Okay.
And, it was really cool.
I got it. And what's cooking? Anything coming up?
Yes, what's cooking? So I too have been encouraged by the phenomenal sister Naira, right? So now, oh my goodness.
Egypt right now.
Yeah.
Egypt right now. And she's such a world changer. But to fall in love with a woman, like, can we just talk about how women ain't seeing the beauty in another woman? Like, I'm recognizing the beauty in women, and I love it. So but it reminds me how amazing I am, because I can see the beauty in another woman.
Right.
So so to just I'm almost in love with Sister Naira, and just intentional and purely as the woman she is and that she chose to be.
Right.
Because we all got a story, and we think that our sadness is unique. It's not. It's nothing new under the sun, right? But what is unique is how you overcome.
Right.
How did you get over that? Tell that part.
Yeah.
And then that'll really help someone. And that's what her life is saying. You can do this. You can eradicate from those things that you've gone through. And so now I too am going to be starting my own book compilation, to where I too am going to have 30 authors in the book. And it's also my way of putting my foot on the narrative that if you want to hide anything from us, you put it in the book.
Yeah.
So I got books for sale.
I got books
for sale. So I'm changing the narrative, and I'm gonna make authors out of our people, and these are gonna be our scriptures, and these will be our solutions for the people.
These will be our scriptures. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I really appreciate you sharing that. So you gonna hang out with us a little bit?
Yes, absolutely.
You gonna be here?
Yes.
I love it, man, because we're going to talk about some of this stuff that's in the headlines, like people was tuning in, but I just really am inspired by you, and I thank you, and that's why I was like, come on in and just hang out with us a little bit.
I'm inspired by you too, brother.
Let's just continue to do this work, and it's a little easier when we do it together. And so why not link up with people who doing this type of work?
Many hands make light
work.
Many
hands make light work. And I think the idea of like the self-repair, the self-improvement, and that was another thing that I guess kind of drew me to the energy that you have, because my foundation when I started making my transition is through the Nation of Islam self-improvement program, and the stable datum that we think with is self-improvement is the basis for community development. And so when you,
that's what he told me.
Yeah. so you work on you.
Yeah.
Then once you work on you, that extends to family, it extends to family, it extends to community, and then mankind, world, and all of that. But like if you ain't working on you.
So I'm glad you said that, right?
Yes, sir.
On the radio, because we talk about this.
Yes,
like,
sir.
This what the man told me about 10 years ago, man. First that's why we named our company Community Development Training Center.
Yeah, see that.
But it's a long story behind what he just said. But it's refreshing to hear, but because you do got to thank Brother John, as a community, you know, oftentimes we try to take care outside first.
Yes, sir.
And then we come inside.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then like being inside on purpose.
Yeah. And the only way out is in. I love that.
In. That's listen.
Yeah.
And so it's very glad to have you here. Confirmation to hear some of this stuff is very powerful, and I'm glad to get it out to the community.
Yeah.
Because this some of the stuff we talk about privately, and we will never have a space to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Because we so far into this community development space that we leave the self-improvement.
Yeah, but that's the beginning of it all.
The foundation.
That's
the foundation of it, though. I mean, and it's
trying to fix ourselves.
And it's ongoing and consistent work, right?
Yeah,
like
all the time. You never get a break.
Well, this Teddy Pendergrass, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. You know, our theme in the morning is wake up. But there was a song he had at one time. It said, "You can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you look, there you are." And I think that's like indicative of the work that we got to do. So all of the stuff that we dodging.
Can I say so? So it's double-sided. So you can't hide from. Say that again.
You can't hide from yourself. Everywhere you look, there you are.
Right. And so because when you go out in our neighborhoods and our street, you should see a reflection of you. And so just because it might not be your child or your sister or your brother, it could be your child, your sister, or your brother. So it should be reminders of what could happen. Hence why I'm out here, because I can see these could be my little cousins or my mom, my dad. And so I want to make a change collectively, wholly, so that we're looking in the mirror, so that it reflects the good.
Right. No, that makes sense. And it's we was doing this, and then people got mad with me when I said this a few years back, but I was talking about my selfish interest in this work with young black males. Right.
Wait a minute, what?
My selfish interest.
Selfish
interest in the work with young black males, right?
Yes.
And because people say you shouldn't have a what's in it for you.
Right.
But it's like I do got something that's in it for me, because I got all girls. And eventually, they're gonna be attracted to young men.
Absolutely.
And so if I can increase the pool of eligible young men for my daughters, then it's a little bit selfish. Like I want a good son-in-law, so I got to go out here in the community and make a good son-in-law.
Absolutely.
You know
that was smart.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's my interest. I want my daughters, to be secured. I want them to have protection. And now look, now we're gonna get in trouble with the women. Well, who
call
said
that
the
a
women
covert operation?
Right.
I call that the covert operation.
Yeah.
Like you got to go behind. You got to go the other route to meet it this way.
Right.
So I know my girls are gonna be interested in guys. So I'm going the covert route. I'm gonna find a way, and I'm gonna love on them this way, fix them this way. So when I gotta look at one of them knocking on my door,
that's right.
I've already mold them and
as much as you can, right? As much as you can, and you create a culture of love and respect and protection and productivity, like working to create that culture. So when they walk out into the world and they got these options, like they got better choices, like that. And people was like real mad at me for that, Mr. Edmond. Like they
understand how they was mad. Like they should have wanted. They should have been pushing their sons on you.
No,
can my son be one of those elements?
What you think?
Yeah, what you think? But I mean, that's how it worked though. And I love this. I mean, self-improvement again, the basis for community development. Maurice Scott said world changer. Lisa Washington said love it. And Shayna said, yes, we do on our desk. I guess she's saying that they still got radios. They still have radios, Blue Lips. And then Maurice. So Maurice Scott, like he just like shouting you out.
Yeah, I rock with Mr. Maurice. So again, like allowing to be in those spaces where people hear your heart language. But he has such a beautiful heart.
Oh my God.
The heart language.
To him. Yeah, it's a whole heart language for me. But it's a heart thing. That's the name of my LLC. Because it's that intentional.
What's the name of the LLC?
It's a heart thing.
Okay.
And it's THANG because it's a thing.
Thing. Right? Yeah. We speak like you got a target audience, right? And you got to speak the language.
Because if our heart stop working, we don't work. When this heart stop, everything stops.
Yeah, because you could be brain dead and still be alive.
Absolutely.
But when the heart stops, it's over.
It's over. So it's a heart thing. So we intentionally about the heart of the people. And I realize I hear that. I hear the hearts of the people, and I could since I was a little girl. And I couldn't understand why I could tell adult stuff and they looking at me, because I hear your heart. Yeah. And so I hear the heart of our community, and what we're doing and saying is different of what our heart is crying out. So I'm just trying to get them to tune into their heart language. Yeah. It's the art of self-communication. Is the name of my academy that I just created. But it's the art of self-communication. You listening to you. Yeah. And when you do that, everything else opens up. Your home, the community, your voice, everything then transpires from the
self-communication.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to just stop for a minute, because I appreciate how candid you are, and in your expression of your superpower.
I mean,
all right, but
you sharing your superpower with me. I'm feeling it right now. I'm absorbing.
But we're gonna take this call up. But I don't want to forget that point. So, Mr. Edmond, if I just remind me, caller, what's your name and what's on your mind?
Remind you what?
How you doing? This is Bishop Askew. I just from that Entertainment LLC, but I just want to let her know if she's looking for an agent to promote her book. We'll be glad to do that. I have Michael Basin, one of the high book writers out there, and I also have Kevin and Man, David Man, doing a books. So we'll, if she need an agent, we'll be glad to help her out as an agent.
I love that. I love that, brother. How can we get in contact with you?
I can give you my
okay. So
my information.
What I'll do is I'll take you off the air, and then so just stay in the queue, and then I'll take you off the air, and then we can get that information.
So while he on hold, while you get the information, I just want to say, see how the universe works.
I do. Oh my! But it's been so divine. The moment I started listening to my natural GPS, I haven't.
What you call it?
My internal GPS.
So
we
GPS. Say we got Wi-Fi, so we be talking to each other across the room.
Totally, and we are fully capable of doing it.
Yeah,
we are fully capable of doing it.
I like that GPS. And it's ironic. Just yesterday, I said I had to start listening to myself more because so I had to first give myself credit. Because a lot of the places that I am today is because I listened to myself. Because at first I'm like, dang, I would never listen to myself. But then I had to think, wait a minute, you did. That's how you got here. Yeah, but this is how you got here. Wait, you did listen to yourself. But I got to get back in tune with myself so that I can move so gracefully.
Harmonize.
Yeah, so and it just be like shoot from here to there, boom, boom. So yeah, it's very great timing. I knew you was coming, but I didn't know what you was coming on. So it's very good that you came on this because to be honest, our community, we have to talk to ourselves because then we can talk to each other.
But they told us you don't. What they said, don't talk to yourself. It makes you crazy. So you see how these little things that they seep into our lives to just get us to not get to know us.
Right.
To get us to not understand us. And again, this is
crazy because he's talking to himself. Yeah.
But no, when I say it's the best thing that ever happened to me,
that's real.
is learning to talk to myself and listen to me because I can ration it out and I can even tell myself when I think I'm afraid or that I can't, I can tell myself I can't. Ooh. I know you feel that way, but we can. We got this.
Yeah.
I got us. Let's go.
Fire. Yeah. Hey, that's that fire.
That's right.
Hey, church, tabernacle. Tabernacle.
Oh, my online community, they call me Deacon Clark.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you when you just said rationalize with yourself, right? So I do that.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm crazy because I think it's a superpower.
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
And that's helped me with my imagination and creativity too. Because we don't work together so much. But rationalize. I don't think we rationalize with each other a lot in the community. And rationalizing with yourself, that was just big.
Yeah. And even that, it's like it go both ways.
Yeah.
Like we'll rationalize and talk ourselves out of things.
Exactly. The negative side.
Yeah. Like you rationalizing, oh man, I'm 5'4". What I'm trying to get into the NBA for.
Right. You done already closed the door before it can even open on you.
Yeah.
And then if it opens on you, you afraid to now go in because you done premeditated a whole story and a scenario. Yeah. And you don't even know that. But you will know if you go.
Right.
But we'll talk ourselves out of not doing yet. We got a whole story and never knowing because I never walked through the door. And then now when I talk to you later on, I told you the bad part, but I ain't tell you that I didn't even attempt to go in the door to know what was in on the other side for me.
Wow. This is the thing I wanted him to remind me of, but I actually remember. So you said that you can hear people's hearts, right?
Yes.
And again, because I'm aware that we all have superpowers, sometimes I know that we will hide our superpowers and people ain't as bold to be able to say, I can hear people could be like, who the hell are you to tell me you can do that? So just what give you the confidence to be able to just openly express like this is one of my abilities and to say that? Like, have you always had that awareness and willingness to speak on it, or did you get to a place where it's like, this is what I can do and I'm aware of it?
So I always knew it. I didn't have words for it as a little human, because we discredit our kids because they come with little hands and little toes, but they are whole universes. They are whole little human beings. And so that's what kind of like my family and the people around me did. They didn't see it, and I only had little human words, so I couldn't express it. So now this is me finally coming into that awareness within myself of what I've always been doing or what I always did. And now I'm speaking up on it because I don't have a choice, because I'm wearing this blue lipstick that say open your mouth. So, and I didn't even know that was a whole part of it. But as and now I can confidently and boldly say that is exactly what I do. And so the church refers us to as intercessors, and why people could pray for you and pray like they know all your business, because we can hear your heart.
Okay, gotcha. Intercessor.
Intercessor.
I love it. Y'all listening to the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club on 99 Gems, man. Tag a friend, tell your friends, tell your family, share the page, man. We got
turn us on at work.
We got Deacon Clark in the building.
Deacon.
Sierra. And I mean,
heart coach.
Sierra, heart coach. Heart coach, man. And I mean, it's just so many amazing things that's happening in our community, and so many amazing people that's doing wonderful work.
We want to shine a spotlight on you. If you're doing something, get in the inbox, call us. We want to try to get you on.
Yes, so we can hear your story.
Because we want to salute you and celebrate you.
Real talk, man. And so thank you again for coming. We appreciate you being here. And I like your greeting too. Joyful morning, right? We don't say good morning. It's like joyful everything.
Yes.
Like just
I'm trying to be intentional with all this life that I got, that I have now, that I'm so aware that, and then it could be gone. Like if we really think of the idea, the things we worry about and stress about and be angry with another person, the fact that I realize you can die even in the midst of doing what you like to do. So if I can die in doing what makes my heart smile, then I can die in doing what I don't like to do. So I would rather do what I want to do, and not feeding into your madness until you figure out your own energy. Then I'm gonna be over here. But I'm gonna build a boat big enough because I want you to be a part of it. Right. So that's what I'm doing. I'm still building the boat, and I'm building it big enough so we can all get on it. But until you decide but did you know in the word heart is art? Yeah. And we are masterpieces. You are your best masterpiece that you're gonna work on. Out of all the things you're gonna create, is you. That's your most expensive artwork.
Yeah. And look, it said, "Let us make man." Right. So you got me in that
art,
space.
The art of the heart.
The art of the heart.
And it said, God don't see this flesh; He sees the inside. He sees the heart of the man.
That's what I want to see. I want to see the heart of humans.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's
and
a beautiful
it's so
thing.
beautiful. Like we all have it, but we've been conditioned, programmed, or it hurt, and so now we build up walls. But it's all in us. But it's just a part of the human experience. You are human, but you are spirit first, and we forget that because we got eyes, ears, toes, and body parts. That we forget that we were spiritual beings long before we were even human. So even your years here on this earth, you were a spirit much longer than that. We forget that.
Yeah, we do. And I think that's all intentional too, right? Like the whole idea of forgetting and not remembering, like all the
help too, right?
Yeah, we had help.
Oh, we had a lot of help to get us from not knowing.
That's what that sugar for.
Look, we've been hit in the head. Ain't that what they call it? Like you remember when they on the movies when they used to have like people who caught amnesia. And after getting hit in the head, they forget their names and all of that, right?
Remember, it is time for you to
king.
Remember.
You are king. What are you doing?
right. Well, collectively, Black people, we done been hit in the head and we suffering from amnesia. Caller,
in these conversations, man, we have to recognize that we are gods in amnesia.
Where you at? I needed your energy this morning. Thank you for calling in.
Hey,
where you at?
So, like one of the things, I'm at work. I'm at work, Queen.
Okay.
So one of the things we gotta recognize, y'all, is that literally we signed up for this.
Yeah.
We signed up to come here for the human experience. It's like a roller coaster ride. We signed up to come to Earth just to grow spiritually. And when we overstand this concept, right? Not understand it, right? Because we can't have real knowledge of anything and stand under it. That's a testimony to our ignorance when we understand stuff. So these conversations, we need overstanding and also understanding. These aren't just basic level conversations. This is what feeds our spirit. Go ahead, bro, John.
No, I'm with you. And again, we flip pancakes over here. So all understanding ain't bad.
No, this is advanced technology
because we trying to lift up our people. You know what I mean? So
it's not about understanding being bad. It's about a testimony of our ignorance.
Absolutely.
Because you can't have knowledge of anything and stand over it. Okay. It's just how it's a backwards way of programming. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
It's like how we make smartphones dumb by saying finna.
By saying finna.
We're super intelligent beings,
y'all
and
know how we do it, though, right?
Yeah,
y'all know how we do it. Like everybody has their accent. Like if you're in Georgia, you don't talk the same way people in New York talk. And so when we say finna, like we don't say fixing to, because that ain't how we talk where we from. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So we actually making the phone smarter because we teaching it a new language.
Our language, because they've taken our language and now gave us their language. So that's right, Brother John. We now teaching the smartphone our way of communicating.
Oh, well, that's a whole different conversation. That's another show.
It's languages.
It is.
This is all languages. You know what I'm saying? And
are we not the walking word? We know we are the walking word. We are word in flesh.
All right.
We are the whole word with legs.
Professor Leonard Jeffrey said on my sister's show back in the day, we are the Ashe. Understand that, right?
Mm-hmm. We are the
understanding conversation, right?
Yeah.
But yes, we are the Ashe. And to go back, and I'm gonna get off this right here, but to go back to what you were saying earlier, Brad, because that's going inside of a meeting. But this is Sankofa right here, what we're doing.
Right.
When we're able to show people how it was prior to when we use Roe versus Wade, for example, and then bring it back to modern times, that is Sankofa in its that is Sankofa 101 right there. Our ability to go back and show our people what's going on right now by showing what they've been doing in the past. That's why we should never forget our past, y'all.
Real talk.
Peace the ancient way. I love y'all.
Love you too. All right. Yeah.
And that's the subtitle to the
I just knocked that around
book, A Rooted Journey Home. The present learns from the past.
Okay.
Because we got to live and learn. We can't just keep living.
A rooted journey home. Yeah. And you saying it's documented your father's story?
My granddad. The seed that started this whole tree.
Okay.
Like had to give reverence to that, but also like it's the ancestral communications has been communicating with me. So it was like it's time to put some of this in the book because I haven't had a family reunion or anything. So how do we know where we know where we're going if we don't know where we come from?
Right.
And so as I learned about this amazing man, like it made me feel better about me. Like, what do you mean? I came from greatness.
That's right.
I came from royalty. So it changed the way I walked a little bit. It changed how I view myself, So it's important that we tell these stories of the old so we now know and we don't identify what ain't us.
That's right. That's right.
You're not gonna make me feel less than because I come from greatness.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that so much. And what you're doing for me is something that they've been doing too, like having me tell my story, right? And our story and the story of the work that we're doing, because a lot of times I think this is one of them things that just, again, personal opinion, is we don't have that connection with grandfather, great-grandfather, great-great-grandfather. And so since we can't go back, we don't pick up from where we are.
Right.
And so what you said, like with my grandfather, like being able to start there, like if I can't tell my grandfather's story, I can tell my daddy's story. I mean, then eventually, like, because my father, is my grandchildren's great-grandfather already.
Right.
And so when they, you know what I mean? So it's like if we start here, from here, 100 years from now, even if it like land with me, I would hate that if it couldn't go back further, but if they can just get back to me in 100 years, 150 years, you know what I'm saying? Then that can be our contribution to keeping the legacy and keeping the story and that knowledge of self, really, right? Not the individual self, but that collective self, being able to see where you come from. But it starts with us. So like having your story and putting your story out, like you never know what the impact of that will be in 150 or 200 years from now.
That's right. I want to say this. I was just talking to my uncle. I was talking to my daddy too. Just finding out my granddaddy's name, my great daddy. What's your granddaddy's name?
Right.
Where they from?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, what happened? How y'all end up there? Why you get there? And just really because I lost my mother last year.
Yes, sir.
So that's a chunk of our family history gone.
Right.
Because she was kind of like caretaker of some of that knowledge.
Right.
And with her gone, it's kind of just like
where does it go? Yeah.
And this is why I'm getting these books out. So the bigger thing is to get them into families, because these will be like family history books.
Yeah.
You get everybody in your family to be a part of a book.
Yeah.
That's what. So this is the bigger picture of it all. So now you got a book that tells of your family genealogy.
Right.
Tells of your family story. So when the younger comes, they got it in a book.
Right.
One, a book.
Right.
But two, they got all the information in one spot.
Yeah, because a lot of times we just got it in stories. Like it was somebody. It was somebody who told a story, but if that story is not continually passed on and repeated, then at some point it gets lost.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it's just interesting too, because like my family, on my wife's side, they just lost like the last, or they call them the sisters. So you know how you got like your mom and then her sisters. Well, like all of that row is gone now, right? Just recently passed, and it's like, for me, it's like, wow, like that's huge. And the impact of like not having that. And so like I've been really intentional, like having conversations with my mom. Every time I talk to her, like, you got to tell me something about us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you what I've been on.
Like not just the trivial stuff, but like really sitting down with people who are in your family and asking them, how did we get here? How did we get to live where if you from St. Pete, how did we get to be in St. Pete? Where did we live before we lived in St. Pete? How, you know what I mean? And really being intentional about having that conversation.
Let me encourage you, start with the one you call crazy in the family.
Ooh.
Start with the one you call crazy in the family.
Yeah.
Because they deemed her that, because him or her that, because they were speaking the language that they weren't ready for. That's all it is. That's all crazy is. Like, it's a language that we weren't ready for. So you talking what I don't want to hear. So I'm gonna say you crazy. And then so they put them in the straight jackets and give them medicine and tuck them away. That's what they did with them back in the day when they were awakened. Oh no, you crazy. We gotta hide you from society, and we're gonna deem you crazy, so we're gonna put you in a straitjacket. But if you sit down and talk to those people who you deem crazy, they are by far. They are by far.
You're right. I had an uncle like that. You're right. I had an uncle like that, and he really had it. Like, yeah. No, that's amazing, man. Look, I don't know what y'all doing, but we are here at the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club every Monday and Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 9, and we eating good.
That's real. I'm full.
We eating good this morning. They thank y'all for keeping the community together. That's Maurice Scott. Senior G. Galvin said, preaching. He on it. Again, Maurice, he said, we are living epistles, walking love letters. Oh my God, a walking love letter. I love that. And then Mama Blue said, but we must not allow people, places, and things to change the heart that was not that was created to be.
Ooh, and I want to say there's a lot of things out there that will harden the heart.
And yes, sir. You was kind of touching on that.
Yeah.
When you feel this human experience, you back down, you put your walls up, but you back up your own system. And that's what I did. Ooh. I backed up myself like a nasty toilet full of exactly. But I'm flushed now. And this is what
I'm flushed now.
I am so flushed like a good enema. And this is what y'all are now experiencing. It's now me being flowing freely.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing, man. That's a beautiful thing to be able to have that free flowing energy and the ability to, and I guess I won't say the ability, the integrity to be able to just openly express how you feel and what you think about yourself.
That's a blue lipstick.
Because because people will make you make yourself small.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And make you think you crazy for being the way you is.
So now I'm not dimming my light for nobody. Put your sunglasses on. Because the sun don't check you, say, Brother John, how bright should I shine today? It just shines.
It just shines.
So
I
that's
gotta
what
check my
do.
dimmer.
So I'm just shining.
Make sure this thing.
Make sure you turn all the way up.
This thing up.
Yeah.
Make sure.
And like just thinking about that, what are some of the things that you've seen just in your experiences that allow people to get to a space to that type of space? Like, what are some tools or what are some things that you use to get to that space? And just how can people who may be struggling right now, to let their full light shine? What are some things that you would say to somebody who may be dealing with that?
I had to make my mind and my heart up about, for one, like I was living a life. I was allowing myself to live a life that internally we knew wasn't my story. So the awareness of myself saying, Sierra, what you doing? Like, you don't speak up for us. You like what you, it was ups. I was mad at me because I was watching. So to go back into that dark space, because see, now that I'm understanding, you can't just cover stuff up. So to now go back to some of those things that I experienced as a child. So now I'm trying to get her to come out the dark And she like, no, I feel safer here because I watch how you don't speak up for us. So you want to tell me to come out, but out there in the world that you got us in, it's worse out there than it is in here. So I really had to gain my own trust and my own self to say that you gonna speak up for us. When I put you in the room, you're not gonna water yourself down. When I tell you to say something, you gonna open your mouth. And so really I had to show myself that I was capable and I was willing to do that by any means necessary. And that means even when it comes to me telling myself we can't, because in writing my book, it was telling me who you think you is that you writing a story. I had to the biggest battle was with Sierra. It wasn't the words of other people. I realized it was the words that I wasn't telling myself or that I didn't allow myself to say. So it wasn't what you were saying to me, although it could hurt, but it was the stuff that I was internally wrestling with me that kept me stagnant, that kept me bound and hindered within me. So as I started to be intentional about listening to these things and even knowing that just because I felt the way, like our feelings is natural, you're a human, but your spirit is something different. So feeling the feeling, but still going. So it happened like this when, like your mama saying, we finna go somewhere and you don't want to go. Put your shoes on, let's go. Like, I don't care how you feel about it. Right. My truth don't care about my feelings.
Put shoes on, let's go.
Put your shoes on, let's go. I got greater for you to do. So I had to go crying. I had to go screaming. I had to go uncomfortable. I had to go even when I didn't want to, because what's the story you want to leave behind? And then if I died at that moment, my life only would have shown my fears, my anxiety, my people pleasing, not all the great, amazing things about me.
Wow. I want to say this while the caller coming on.
Keep going.
Because listen, I told you I was talking to myself about this stuff the other day, and I'm telling myself, well, how can you expect others to listen to you when you don't listen to yourself? Right. So that's when I remade my commitment. If I get a feeling, if I say right now, wake up and just walk out, I'm going. That's it. I'm leaving. Hey, but for real, because I said to myself that that the reward for tuning into myself has been so great. How dare I not?
How dare you?
And how dare I turn my back on? You know what I'm saying? This guy that's been pushing me through all this mayhem.
That's right.
And that's been faithful. I know all those things hurt your feelings and gave up on you, but your internal guy ain't never led you astray.
Oh my God.
This has been the show
here. Caller, what's on your mind? Give us your name.
Good morning. This is Dr. Basha Jordan. How are you this morning?
Hey. Good.
For everything,
yes. Yes, sir. Yeah, you know that I'm the grandson of Elder Jordan, for whom Jordan Park was named.
Yes, sir.
And our family has a tremendous legacy here. I really enjoy the conversation that you all are having. One of the things that God allowed me to do, and I'd like to suggest it for all the listeners to have a great impact as far as our legacy is concerned and the legacy of your family. Something that God led me to do some years ago. My mother was in my office and we were talking, and I had the presence of mind to put her on video and ask her questions about her life. And I learned so much about my mother, but at the same time, my mother died in 2013, but I have 2 or 3 videos of her.
Oh man.
Bless.
And that is so precious. And I'm sharing that because even though my grandfather has a great legacy in this city, we have no family recordings of them, and all I have to go on is what my father told me about his father.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to just share that with you, because the legacy that we have is predicated upon how do we save that.
Yes,
so
sir.
God bless you. I just wanted to just share that with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Dr. Jordan, because we were just talking about that.
We gotta do audio, so to add with the books, we'll put that in the audio as well. So thank you. He expanded the vision.
Yeah, listen, because like I said, my mother passed last year, and so I've had opportunities to record her on video so many times, and never did.
Oh man, yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I spoke with my mom about like her granddad and stuff, her past briefly, but not as intentionally as I do it now.
Yeah. Right. You get what I'm saying? And here's the thing that's powerful to me, because you've shared some of that with me, your history, because I I don't know, first generation St. Pete or whatever. Like my family not really from here. Like we all came from different places and we was raised here. I was born, Chambersburg, right? And so to hear like your story and your family story, like it's just real powerful. And so like I wouldn't have known that you didn't have, because the way you tell it,
because I do
like,
reaction,
like,
but no
wow.
video, no video, no video,
and
I ride around with a video camera in the car with me,
so
man. It's just being intentional
about taking those stories and creating an album. So create an album and get those stories. And then one of the things too, it came to my mind as we were talking earlier about self-talk, right? And one of the things that I learned about myself, how can I say it right? A lot of the things that I believed about myself were things that other people told me. That was another thing I had to get over, right? Like the stuff about, because people tell you stuff about you and then you agree with it. You hard-headed, you bad, you this.
You're a knucklehead.
You know what I mean? And I agreed with a lot of the stuff that people told me about me, and because I didn't want to disappoint them, I did things to prove them right.
You live up to what they put on you.
Yeah,
and that was the thing about
I did it to prove, because I love you, so I don't want you to be wrong. So you say I'm bad, guess what? I'm finna be the baddest ever.
Show you, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
And that was the thing about the crap in the toilet, that I was backed up with my own crap.
Yeah,
it was everybody else's
crap. Yeah,
it was everybody else's crap.
Yeah. Because you ain't putting that much on yourself.
No, it's being put on.
It's agreements. Like somebody put it on you, and you be like, yeah, they is kind of right. I do need that. My nose is kind of big. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that they tell you about you that you agree with, that they agree with you on.
I agree with it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
I love my nose now. They made me feel really
that's where I'm
about my nose. Like, you can tell me about my big nose, my big lips, but I love my nose and my lips.
But you're not saying nothing about mine.
But here's the point: we had to grow to a point where we appreciate, where we disagreed with the fact that the big nose mean ugly. It's like, no, this is mine. It belonged to me. It serves me well.
That's right.
You know,
I mean, that's right.
I can breathe good.
I appreciate you.
You're smacking good. I can't even do this.
And it's mine. It's belonged to me. Yeah, man. Wow.
That was good.
Yeah, good stuff, y'all. Good stuff.
My brother John, I texted him this morning. My brother John, he's my brother John.
Your brother John
have like a big brother. So I've always wanted a big brother. So as many as I can have, I need all the brothers, right?
Hey, we here for it. We here for it.
My brother John doing great things in the community, like real life superheroes in your community.
Ooh, real life.
And so this what hit me. So at some point, Batman and Superman had to come together.
Yeah.
At some point, Marvel and the other things, they had to come together.
Right.
So now it's time I'm calling all the leaders. I'm calling everybody with a solution. It's time for us to come together, because the change that they've been waiting on, we are the change. So the song is time. It's time to be the change.
Yeah.
We are the people that have to do it.
That's right. And that's the other part of it, like accepting that, because you have the reluctant superhero, right? Like when you think about that,
stumbling through it.
Well, I mean, it's like you got this power, but you don't really like
Hancock.
Will
Smith.
Yeah.
But you see how that ended up. He still ended up having to do what he was designed to do.
You know what I'm saying?
So you can prolong it if you want to,
but you still gotta do it. You're right. That was Hancock was a perfect example of how a lot of us are. Like, you got this power, but we not accepting and embracing the responsibility that come with it. It's
a privilege, and that's why I'm like now. It's such a privilege now to be my natural, authentic self, which is the best part that I can add to anything.
Yeah,
and it's a privilege. I'm loving Sierra.
I love that, man.
I'm loving Sierra.
I love it. And that's why we wanted to bring you here, to really be able to just shine a light on that, because I think a lot of people are shy with that, right? And reserved, again, because of what people think about people who express themselves boldly and courageously and confidently. It's like, oh, okay, well, who you think you are? I just told you who I think I am. I just told you who I think I am.
And I think so. I won't blame it on. I think so. Coming up in Christianity, you walk meek, lowly, humble, like the woman of God. But women of God, we are bold. We were at the feet of Christ, if that's how the story tells it. So there are moments that we are absolutely bold. So you stop watering you down, because sometimes when it comes for you to introduce yourself, you don't know that. But if I ask you by the scripture, you know that. If you needed to help me, you can help me. But knowing you, because it's the Christ that lives on the inside of you, or the spirit that dwells amongst you, but yet you don't know you and you can't speak boldly about you.
Oh my God.
So I'm changing all that, right? Within myself. So I could be the example for another woman. So I could be the voice until she can find her own.
Right. Wow. So where can we find the book?
So it's on, but you can get them for me if you see me around the neighborhood. I normally got them in the trunk. They are all in the they are all on Amazon. Okay. So they're all on Amazon. The Rooted Journey Home is now being in production, so I got to choose the font and all the cute pictures. Right. I was actually looking to reach back to some of the older, so we can get some of the old good pictures inside the book to be intentional. But I want to still get the book out to be published, and so I speak about the Jordan Park and the museum and how prominent 22nd was. Like they call 22nd the heart of St. Pete back in the day. So I mentioned all of that in the book. So yeah, you can get them on Amazon, or you can go to my Instagram at SMC Warrior is there on my flow page. Anyway, on my Facebook, Sierra Clark Refuge, or you can see me and you can get some.
Love it. All right, so we got some announcements, y'all. Then we're gonna land the plane, make way for Sister Hughes to come on in. Tomorrow, April 19th. Already 6 p.m. Childs Park Neighborhood Association meeting. So we're encouraging everybody to come out to the Childs Park Recreation Center. We'll receive an update from the lift station 87. They're doing some work over in the neighborhood. You probably saw that how they got the road blocked off over there by the YMCA. You haven't been able to get by. And so they're coming in to provide an update. We asked for jobs and, some hiring from people of the community, some community benefits that come along with this work that they're doing. And so we'll be getting an update on that.
That's real big. I don't want you to gloss over that because that's one of the things when they came and asked us about it. It's something that we couldn't necessarily oppose because it was handed down from the federal government, the state government about the sewage dumping in the bay, and so these lift stations are supposed to ease that. And so one of the things we said when they came to us, like, well, hey, what steps we got to take to get some of our people on that job site? That's right. What's some of the steps that we can take that the community can benefit from this project? So that's going to be the update we're going to get, and we're going to see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be pulling, just the records to see who's been hired to do the work. Like we really intentional about making sure we pulling the string. And then what we learned afterwards was it's not just about the jobs, but some of these contracts.
Yeah, bring the contract and get on the contract.
Get on the contract. You know what I mean? And so really doing that type of work in the neighborhood. And tomorrow night at 6:00 at the Childs Park Rec Center. And then it's a lot more, but I think it can wait until Wednesday because there's a lot of good stuff happening, man. But put it on your radar. We're doing our neighborhood wellness walk on the 23rd, which is this Saturday. We're partnering with Keep Pinellas Beautiful, so we'll be doing a light cleanup, nothing heavy, so you can wear what you normally wear and come out to the neighborhood walk. We got the Gadgets for Good coming up, People's Council stuff. There's a lot of good work that's happening in the community. And we want to thank y'all for y'all support, man. If you had a final thought that you would give the people in 60 seconds, Sister Sierra, what would that be? Your final thought?
Do and believe good.
That's right.
And just like that, do and believe good.
Yeah.
Do and believe good. And it starts with you.
Yeah, it starts with you.
And what wasn't left don't mean it can't start with you. Because we complain about what we didn't have and who didn't do what. Then start it.
Right.
Make it happen.
Then. Yeah. Started with you.
Yeah.
Started with you.
Absolutely.
If you didn't have it when you got here, you got an opportunity now. So do it now.
Absolutely.
Mr. Edmond, final thoughts.
My final thought would be, I definitely want to thank you for coming. Love the energy, love the confirmation, love the words, and to the community, we got some work to do. Link up with us, and we're gonna do the work.
Real talk. All right, y'all. So this is your brother John. There's more that needs to be done and needs to be said. And, this is the Tampa Bay Breakfast Club. Again, I'm your brother John.
This is Mr. Edmond
and Sister Sierra in the building, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out. Y'all make it a great day.
UJM, St. Petersburg, 99 Jams.
Gospel lovers, are you ready for some church? The Angels Gospel Show is back with a bang. Bringing to you gospel with live interviews, scriptures, inspirational topics, inspirational events, and hot gospel.